Our American born and our dying.
Welcome to our group.
Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to Defenders VII.
Defenders 7 has so much knowledge, and this ought to show it right here.
Do you or someone you know suffer from depression? If so, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Defenders Survival Saturday night broadcast. I'm your host and the General of the Defenders 7, Bobby Ormsby. Now, before we get on with the show, I have to read a disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on Defenders 7 radio show and Facebook page are those of the callers and or authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Defenders 7. Now, with that being said, again, I'd like to welcome you. I hope we get a lot of call-ins and a lot of participation tonight. I'm going to go over 46 of the survival skills that are out there. But before that, if you're new just tuning in, check out our website, all lowercase letters, www.defenders, Roman numeral V is in Victor, with 2 small i's.com. We have a store on there and a donate button. 100% of all proceeds and donations go back to our communities in a time of need. So please, by all means, purchase something or click that donate button. Every dollar counts to help you and our communities. We can be reached on MeWe by going into organizations and scrolling down to Defenders 7 Humanitarian American Patriot Group. We could also be reached on our national Facebook page by typing in the search box all capital letters Defenders 7. Before you click on that join button, just know we expect all of our members and our future members to participate throughout everything we do in the Defenders 7. Training, learning who's in your community and who can have your six in a time of need, etc. Now, if you get in and you find it's not for you, you can always leave with no hard feelings. Now, for tonight's show and all the shows we do here on Blog Talk Radio, we enjoy it when you call and participate. Tell us how we're doing, even negatively. It doesn't matter. Everybody's opinion counts. That number to call, area code 914-205-5773. Again, number to call, area code 914-205-5773. I'm now going to open up the phone lines, and I see Captain from Wisconsin, Miss Lorna Munson's the only one that's called in so far.
That's because I've been bribed and I have to.
I think it's going to be the Bob and Lorna show.
And I have no life. I have nothing better to do.
We've got Lieutenant General Christopher Weathers with us.
Oh, he finally shows up.
Well, I just got in my truck, so it's doing good now.
He'll be on for 5 minutes and then have to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, really? Man, I wish you was at this plant to actually see the crap that I've been doing.
You don't work? We already know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I don't work. I don't do nothing for 12 hours. I sit.
You do. So does Lorna.
Oh, whatever.
Huh?
So does Lorna.
Yeah, I know.
And we even got pictures
we don't
of that.
do shit.
We know. We even have pictures of that.
So how many? Yeah, aren't we all? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
So how many is ready for? What are we doing? Survival. That's right. So
yeah, I got 46 survival skills that we can go over.
What?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, I did some research. Did a little research today.
Right on. You must have been bored.
Of course.
About time you do something.
Says the one that doesn't work. Says the one that doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Somebody's got to do it.
All right. So if you want to follow along, I found this website, Outdoor Life. And
I heard of that.
For tonight's broadcast, it's 46 survival skills to keep you entertained in the backyard and alive in the back country.
I could always find entertainment.
I can too, but what these tips include is handy tricks for homesteading and vital survival knowledge for real-world hunting and fishing emergencies. So this should be a good thing to start with. So the tip number 1 is build a PVC cache. You'll need PVC primer and cement, 4-inch in diameter, PVC pipe with a solid end cap. The threaded end cap with plug. You saw and apply the primer around each pipe end, inside the cap and inside the female fitting, but not on the threads. You let it dry. You quickly wipe the cement around one pipe end and inside the cap end. Then slide the cap on and apply pressure for 10 to 15 seconds. You let it dry for a few hours. You wait a day for the fumes to clear before storing any food in it. Then you fill each of the caches and tightly screw the plug in place. You can hide it in a secured, unexpected spot, like a fake pet grave to store in. See that you and I were talking about that a while ago, Chris, about caches in the woods.
Yep, that's it.
Because you can make.
You can also do it. You could do the same thing with a 55-gallon drum, also.
Right. Yeah, I was reading through all this, and it's pretty decent. I mean, you could either do it at home or you could do it, for if you have to bug out.
See, now, when you mention food, for that PVC pipe, non-perishable food items is what he's talking about with that pipe.
Yeah, they get into that down in this chapter.
Right.
Now for damp, it says for damp. Okay, good.
I was going to bring up the same thing. Those packs that you get like in your shoes and stuff like that when you buy a new pair of shoes. I know we have the great big ones that are like 4 inches by 4 inches that take the moisture out. You
silicone.
can have those also in there. That way it keeps the moisture away from everything.
Yeah, they got that. They got that in this in this area that we're talking about right now. It's just not the first thing.
Right. Now what I even have them in like my ammo storage in my caches. I have the big ones to keep the moisture out of there because, let's face it, if your ammo gets wet and stays wet, they ain't going to be no good.
Yeah, you can't throw them in the dryer like some people we know.
Yeah, right.
That was an accident.
Tell you what, that accident actually could have cost you your life, believe it or not.
Yep.
Oh, I've been on that door so many times, it ain't going to happen.
Haven't we all?
It says that for storage in damp areas, you use Teflon tape around the threads.
Right.
You put pipe dope on the threads. If you're going to put it underwater, you glue on the cap and saw your cache to open it when you need it. Now, number two, keep from free. What's that?
I was just wondering, does it explain on a lot of different stuff you could actually put in a cache? Does it go through all that?
It does. It's weird how they got it set up on this thing.
Okay.
Because it goes down and then it starts telling you about different, storage and how to keep it safe and all that.
Right. The problem is if you're going to bury something like that, you need to do it before people start looking for it and then the grass can grow over it. For the simple fact is, the reason for that, if somebody happens along and sees fresh dirt moved, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to start digging for it and seeing what it is.
Right.
Now, in places like in the mountains, like in the Appalachian Mountains, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains, out west, the Grand Tetons, the Colorado Rockies, bears also dig for grub worms, for moths and shit like that. So they'll bury food also. Mountain lion do the same thing too.
Right.
Just an FYI. So I was just wondering if if it covered what kind of stuff it covered to put in your cache, though.
It does, but like I said, the way they got these tips all lined up, they just talk about what they're talking about, and then it's like they give you that summary at the end.
Right. Right. You can actually, if your pipe is long enough, you can, and you have good moisture barrier in it, you can put guns, you can put ammo, along with food, knives, ponchos, tarps, all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can put in a 6-inch PVC pipe that you wouldn't even think about, even a saw.
Yep.
So just use your imagination and common sense of what can go in a 6-inch pipe to hide it that'll help you. So,
and here's something that I forgot all the times that we talk about keeping warm out there from freezing. Number 2, to keep from freezing with found insulation. Of course, we all know bring extra layers and never wear cotton. But if you are wearing a poor choice of clothing without enough layers, add insulation. This is using leaves, grass, or whatever you can find to stuff inside your shirt, which creating a gap between the clothing and your skin will help trap warmth. Most important is to stay dry. Wind blowing on wet clothing will cool your body 25 times faster than normal. Yes, leaves is one of the best. And like I had said in previous shows, you never hear about homeless people dying on the street from the cold. And that's because they stuff their jackets and their shoes and their socks with newspaper.
Newspaper and cardboard.
Yep, newspaper will give off a really good heat source to your body.
I'm glad you found that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been reading through it all day long. It's a good site.
See, we know you didn't do anything other than messing around all day.
Every day.
My name's not Lorna. My name's not Lorna.
Whatever.
Sorry, guys.
You're
I
just
just
wanna
had
be
to
like me.
slam on my brakes a little bit. We got a wreck.
Just like this, the number 3 skill is tie a sheet bend knot. Now it gets into knots. What I'm going to do is, I can't post on Facebook, but I'll do it in like our Telegram and our Messenger national page, because there's 20 knots.
Yeah, I've covered only a good couple of them.
Right.
So and the 2 knots that I did go over are very, very good knots to know.
Yes.
You want to, we can post them videos again if you want to, Bobby.
Yeah,
and they're so easy. They're so easy to do that even a Lorna can do it.
But you're going to have to do that, Chris, because I can't.
Oh, okay.
I'm banned from Facebook. They're all up in underneath announcements on Facebook on our national page.
I figured they would be.
Yeah, you just got to scroll down when you click on announcements.
So all of our members also, I would love to see a lot of people go in on those announcements because there is a lot of good information that we post that goes in announcements.
Right.
The videos, the training videos and everything. I know people try to find stuff all the time on our Facebook, but if you go to announcements, we have a lot of training videos. So be sure to click on them and check them out. Sorry, Bobby, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. We just had Colonel John McCullen call in.
What's
About
up,
time, slacker? You're the slacker.
Hi, John.
You're the biggest slacker of all.
No, it's called 70-hour work week.
Oh, excuses. Come on. I just got off work and I'm here.
Starting to sound like
you got
Lorna.
the snow too, brother.
You're starting to sound like Lorna.
Right, right.
Hey, it's all good. I'm going to Key West tomorrow for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, they got snow hitting there.
You officially suck ass. All right? Just want to let you know that.
It's only 80 degrees. I mean, what the hell?
I know my cousin lives down there outside of Miami, and he's been rubbing all the temperatures in. So I get it. You know, just twist that knife a little harder in the back.
It's all good. I'll FaceTime you guys.
Oh, I bet you will. Toes in the water, ass in the sand, right?
Right.
That's all right. I got a couple of friends that are sheriffs down there. I'll make sure they raid your hotel.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Go for it, Bobby.
Oh, my God, that would be too funny.
I was just going to say how much I love all you brothers and sisters.
He says that now.
Right?
Suck up.
I got to be prepared when they enter the room and there's like 20 liquor bottles and, you know.
Yeah, we know.
All right, so number 4, Chris, the fire starters.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Petroleum jelly, cotton balls, heat source, disposable tin, waterproof container. And it says melt a few ounces of petroleum jelly in a tin can or other disposable fireproof container over low heat. When the jelly liquefies, you dip each cotton ball and set aside to harden. Once soaked with jelly, the balls aren't harmed by water, but store them in a waterproof container in a cool place for best shelf life. So yeah, and just like you do you did on the One Survival show and also your video of breaking it apart when you're ready to use it.
Exactly.
Fritos will burn like hell.
As I've said before, all these training videos, fire starting, knot tying, they are in announcements on our national Facebook page. as I said, go in, check them out.
Yes. And then number 5 hack is makeshift tinder items. You could shave cotton lint scraped from your clothing with a knife blade, birch bark peeled from trees in thin strips, pine pitch, standing dead wood carved into feather sticks. And you can combine these for the best effect and just add the petroleum jelly to the lint if it's available.
Hey,
Then
Bobby.
you got fat wood and
yeah.
pine needles too.
Now,
yeah, I think that's what they mean by pine pitch, John.
right.
Is the pine needles.
One thing that I do want to say, there are numerous things that have petroleum jelly in it, which would be chapstick, lipstick,
Vaseline.
lip balm, Vaseline. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff that has petroleum jelly in it.
KY.
I was gonna say Bobby's all hooked up with lipstick. So.
No, that'd be Weathers.
That's another show, guys.
See, now, why you got to go there, man?
Yeah, really, Lorna, you troublemaker.
Because I can.
See, you corrupted all
Real?
of us.
She's
Yeah,
corrupted.
and it comes back on me. What the hell?
Now,
She's corrupted.
I know we've talked about this tip before too, on heating, not only heating your home, but even a shelter, or even your tent. Turning stones into heaters during cold weather power outage.
Yeah,
Erect
we've
the
talked
heat.
about that many times.
Right.
And Texas could really use that right now.
Yes, they could. Erect a heat-proof platform, a 2-foot square of bricks. Start the grill or build a fire outside. Gather dry rocks or bricks. Wet rocks, shell, and slate can explode when heated. Heat them for about 45 minutes, scoop them out, ensure they're spark-free, and deposit in a stainless steel pot. Galvanized buckets can release toxic vapors. Bring inside, set on platform, and repeat every few hours. So yeah, we talked about that. I know a couple of times.
Yep. Sure have.
But you just got to you got to know your rocks, so that you don't get the ones that if you heat them up, they're going to explode, because they will. It's like shrapnel when they explode.
That's a fact. And I tell you what, that's a good way to either get killed or seriously injured. And the smallest injury in a survival situation can be life-threatening.
Yep. So just be wise and know which rocks you're going to use, and bricks for that matter too.
That's why we don't allow Lorna to have a real knife.
Or fire.
Okay.
We'll just make sure she has plenty of Gorilla Glue.
Right. To put in her hair.
No, that's all
That's
you
like
guys.
your hairdo.
Lorna's weekend package.
Okay. So it's Rip on Lorna night, huh?
Isn't that every night?
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
pretty much.
you're the one who started it by lipstick crap.
You know we love you, Lorna.
Now,
I know.
see, Chris. Now it goes into tip number 7. Package dry goods that'll last 30 years.
There you go.
You'll need dry food staples such as pasta, beans, rice, Mylar bags, oxygen absorber packets, clothes iron, a permanent marker, and a food-grade bucket. One of the most dependable ways to ensure your family stays fed is to store food for an emergency.
Romaine noodles, too.
Right. It says you fill each Mylar bag with dry goods and add an oxygen absorber pack according to the volume. 1 quart bags need a 100 cc packet. Gallon bags need 400 cc packets. You close the bag's mouth and run a hot iron across the opening to seal it. And you place these sealed pouches with the date and contents marked into the bucket. If you seal the pouches correctly, the oxygen packets will draw a partial vacuum on each pouch in a few days. You stash the bucket in a cool, dry place. Your cache should last for 3 or more decades. We also talked about that. That's where your canning comes into play too.
All right.
And then any of your homemade trail mixes.
Deer jerky or jerky in itself will last a very long time also. Compacts very tight and lasts a long time.
Pemmican's good too.
What's that, John?
Pemmican.
Yes. That lasts for generations.
Yeah. That'll last 20 years. And there's plenty of recipes online for that.
If you become mired, a rope or a stick can drag you to safety if you're alone. Try to distribute your weight broadly on the surface. Don't struggle to pull your feet out. You'll just work yourself in deeper. Instead, spread your pack, sleeping pad, and even your rifle across the surface. Use them for support and gently extricate your legs. Roll or work your way to safety, bringing your gear along. That's pretty neat.
That also includes, you can not just mud, but also if you're on ice, all that same technique is good for iced over lakes or rivers.
Speaking of ice, Jacob and I did the polar plunge today, and it was 18 out.
Wow.
Better you than me.
We raised some money for Special Olympics, so it was a good cause.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I'll give you a pat on the back for that one, John.
Right?
I would have loved to have seen you jump in and jump right back out, though.
Dude, I was hauling butt across that pool.
You were in a pool?
I think I broke some land speed records. Yeah, we didn't do it in the river this year. We went with the pool.
Oh, God, we do it in the lake here.
Bobby, they're coming after you.
Again.
We usually do it in Eagle Creek.
You usually do it what?
We usually do the plunge in Eagle Creek Reservoir.
Oh.
All right. Which one of you did they come and get?
Lorna.
Bobby.
Lorna.
Hey.
I hear the
outside.
handcuffs already. I hear the handcuffs already.
Yeah, I can hear that fur ripping.
Click, 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 click.
There's nowhere for the police to come here. No room for them. And they can't get up my driveway anyway.
And they even have how to build a solar still. It's a simple invention that collects and distills the water. You'll need a square sheet, clear, or milky plastic, approximately 5 by 5 foot, shovel, a catch container, a small rock, tubing, or a hose. Search for a sunny location with the dampest dirt or sand available. Dig a 3 by 3 foot hole. Place the container at the bottom. Drape the plastic over the hole. Spread a ring of dirt around the edges to seal off the still. Weight the plastic with the rock to create a 45-degree angle. Condensation will collect on the underside of the sheet and drip into the receptacle. It's most efficient to slip a drinking tube into the reservoir so you can drink without dismantling the still. But tubing may be hard to come by and isn't critical. The distilled water is as clean as the surfaces it has touched and may not need further purification. Add green vegetation and cacti around the container in the hole to increase production. Don't expect gallons per day from a unit like this, but the ounces you do get can make all the difference. That's pretty cool.
I've actually done that, and there's another, I don't know if you have it on there that you'll go over it, a clear plastic bag. You can actually put it over pine boughs that are still on trees or greenery, anything that's green, any kind of tree. The sun will, it's the same principle, and the water will collect in the plastic bag.
Yeah, that's not on there. I can tell you that right now.
Huh.
Just like
They
you guys
don't know everything, do they?
We don't go over it, Chris. A few shows back.
All right. Hey, Bobby. I am now
here
home.
we go.
Oh, he's backing out now.
Popping
Look,
out.
man, it has been a long day for me at work.
Sitting on your butt gets that way.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm just worn out just from sitting.
We know. We
the
feel
bad
for you,
part-
but we can't reach you.
The bad part is I got to do it all over again tomorrow, too. So there you go. Tomorrow is my Friday.
Tomorrow I'm flying to the Keys.
Nobody asked for your input, John. All right, y'all. God bless and have a good night.
All right, you too, brother.
good night.
Thanks for being on.
Good night.
Good night.
And here's another tip that's right up our alley: making jerky. To preserve meat in a survival situation by drying it raw. Start with fresh meat, slicing pieces less than a 1/4 inch thick, and cutting perpendicular to the grain. Trim all visible fat. It will go rancid if you don't. Hang your jerky slices on an improvised rack or branches. Don't leave unattended. Birds and other critters will pilfer it. Jerky can be dried near a smoky fire to add flavor and keeps flies off. Just don't dry it over a fire or it will cook and spoil within days. The jerky may dry in 1 day or several, depending on the humidity. Don't leave it out overnight. Place it somewhere safe and dry. Times while drying, it's ready when the meat becomes slightly brittle and turns a purple-brown color. If it's red meat, I toast jerky over the fire, but just before consuming it to make sure it's safe as possible. And here's another tip: to make an oil-soaked toilet paper torch. You'll need a freshly cut stick, forked at one end, toilet paper, cooking oil, lighter, or matches. Cut a fresh branch or sapling from the handle. For the handle, green wood is unlikely to catch fire. Choose a stick about 2 feet long, 1 to 2 inches thick, with a fork or side branch at the end to better secure the toilet paper. Wind TP around the forked end, twisting it into a rope like strands as you go. Once the bundle is fist size, tuck in the end of the paper, soak your torch in cooking oil for 1 minute, remove and pull out a thin strip of oily paper and light it. In a moment or two, the torch will become engulfed in flames and it'll burn for about 15 to 20 minutes. Huh, that's pretty neat. That is pretty neat.
That is cool.
And then they go into that tripod. I know you guys have seen the pictures of that. The tripod water filter.
Yeah.
3 small sticks, cord, clean sand, green grass, crushed charcoal from a fire, 3 pieces of cloth, and a catch container. And basically you just build a tripod with the sticks and attach the pieces of cloth one above the other so they hang like hammocks. Put the container below the lowest one, place grass in the upper cloth, charcoal powder in the middle, and sand in the bottom. Pour raw water in the top filter. It will trickle through the layers into the container. While this won't remove pathogens, it will reduce mud and debris, which makes other disinfection methods more effective. Water can be poured through the filter multiple times. Nice. And here's a bite hack from bark. It's an old remedy. Pine gum salve draws infection, splinters, and other nasties from your skin. Pure pine pitch right off the tree will have a similar effect, but it's best mixed with beeswax, tallow from sheep or bear, and a touch of golden seal, Hydrastis canadensis powder. These ingredients can be hard to come by in the back country, so make your salve before and carry some with you. In desperate and salveless circumstances, simply collect a fingerful of sticky pitch from the nearest pine tree and smear it thoroughly over the wound to protect it. See that's another, safe natural remedy that's coming straight from our own earth. That's why it's pretty good to get a hold of a good book that has all the different remedies that you can come up with and make if you need to while you're out there trying to survive off the land. If you're starving, go ahead.
Doesn't birch have a sticky sap too?
Yeah, you can make birch tea out of it. It's a pretty good warming drink over an open fire.
I'm gonna try that.
Then another if you're starving, look for a pine or birch tree. The innermost bark or cambium is a source of food for the super hungry. It can be chewed right off the tree, toasted over a fire, fried and eaten like potato chips, dried and ground for baking and stews, or boiled for broth. Most tree species can supply edible inner bark to the painfully hungry through some varieties, although some varieties are toxic, like yew. I know before you chow. I got to look up yew. I forget what yew is.
I think that's like a cemetery tree. Only they grow small to the ground. YEW, is that how it's spelt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And this is pretty neat for to extend your fuel life. If you have liquid fuel but no regulator or a broken one, to pressurize it, you're not out of luck. You pour the fuel into an old drink or food can, then add dirt. It will absorb fuel, slow evaporation, and make the fuel burn up to 60% longer than the fuel alone.
Well, that was pretty cool.
That's for your fires. It says it'll burn up for up to 60% longer than the actual fuel itself. And then it gets into plantains. The weed plantain, Plantago major, is a common low-growing plant found in lawns and fields worldwide. Identify it by its smooth-edged, simple leaves. Torn leaves often reveal stringy fibers inside the heavy parallel veins. Ripped leaves give off an astringent, cabbage-like color. Use the young leaves in salads or boil for 10 to 15 minutes. The white flowers grow greenish seeds that are edible raw or cooked. Crush leaves into a poultice to relieve pain from stings and venomous bites. Huh. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, all of our forefathers and especially Indians, that's how they were able to survive, living off the land. Because aside from all the different plants, especially the non-poisonous plants, you could still live.
Right.
And we not only lost Weathers, but we lost John too.
I was just
So
gonna
it's
say,
just the Bob
me and you.
It's just the Bob and Lauren show again. Come on. Things so slow. All right. Gear. Bare minimal survival pack. Carry these items at all times. Plastic survival bag for shelter and other hacks. Look for ones that fold to the size of a deck of cards to stash in a pocket. Here's one for you, Lorna. Tampons for Tinder. Still in the plastic. Store them with your matches. Survival knife with a carbon steel blade at least 4 inches long and 1/10 of an inch thick. A tub of stormproof matches wrapped in bike tire tube. It's waterproof and burns well in any conditions. Whetstone for sharpening and blade repair. Waterproof notebook and writing tool to draw maps. Fire steel to strike a good spark, tied with paracord to a good and a signal whistle. Like that's going to help you out in the freaking woods.
Oh, somebody will come.
Yeah. Usually bears.
Uh-huh.
Contractors grade trash bags. One of the cheapest, least sexy, and most useful survival items ever. 2 or more. Use as an emergency poncho to submerge meat on a hot day or to keep gear dry. Fill with air and tie off for flotation. Fill with duff for an emergency bivy sack. And use as a ground cloth under your sleeping pad. This classic steel canteen container can do all sorts of things a plastic water bottle can. Never hope to accomplish. You can boil water in it, cook food, simmer tea, etc.
Why are you being so slow?
That's my internet.
Or
learn
lack.
how I had to do this myself several times, but this is how to suture a wound. Proper sutures are made from a non-absorbent material and can be bought for medical kits. Don't use a needle and cotton thread. Why, I did that. This will only create an absorbent route for bacteria and dirt to track straight to the wound. If you don't have sutures, use a small safety pins or fish hooks. Sterilize them by boiling or with alcohol. Close wounds within 24 hours or else the wound edges will begin to dry. Begin stitching at the wound center. Tie each stitch separately. Do not use one continuous thread. Place the next stitches halfway between the remaining gaps on either side. Continue until all gaps are closed. I did it with a sewing needle and freaking thread.
Oh, look at you go, tough guy.
Well, you use what you got.
Well, can't you use fishing line?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll work just as good as what they put on you anyway. Building a fire in the snow. Radiated heat from a fire will melt the snow it's sitting on. Make a wooden raft to insulate the fire and keep it raised out of any melt water. This is sufficient for a one-off fire if you want to. Say boil water. If you need a long-term fire for a shelter site, more preparation is necessary. If you can dig down in the ground, if the snow is so deep as to make this impractical, you'll need to dig a pit at least 3 yards in diameter. Then dig the foundation 1 foot deep, add a layer of sticks, followed by a compressed layer of snow, 1 inch thick, layer of sticks perpendicular to the first, then another layer of snow, and so on. Stack this sandwich until you have at least 6 layers. Build your fire on that stack to fire small for better fuel efficiency. Huh. So you learning anything?
Yep.
You was just about ready to fall asleep.
I just yawned.
Well, that's all right. I won't keep us on too much longer because it's better when we got more people talking.
I know, and it's really noisy out in the other rooms tonight. I can catch some of what's being said, but not a lot.
Right.
The girls are just going crazy out there. Sounds like a herd of elephants running across the room.
And you know what? I actually missed that.
Oh, I don't mind it, but boy, when you're not used to it, wow.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying that's what I miss the most, hearing the pitter-patter and the arguing, and they don't think people are listening, and they start telling their little stories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got some stories.
But that's what I'm saying.
Juliana's going to be a tough one. She was lifting some pretty good-sized chunks of wood downstairs.
She's going to be just like her grandma.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll make sure of it, too.
Yep. And that's what I've always said, I taught all my kids everything I knew, just about.
Right. Yeah.
We could bring this to a close, I guess. There ain't nobody calling in.
That was 47 of them things already?
No, that was actually only like 44.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a couple on there that were like for around the house. I skipped over because we've gone over them before.
Oh, are you gonna post that stuff on the Defenders page?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put it in our messenger. So I'm guessing Weathers will put it on our, or you can do it if you know how to do it.
Yeah, me Miss Technical.
But yeah, I'll put it in our national messenger and our other room, but and even on Telegram. But I'll have to get with Weathers and get him to post it on our Facebook page.
All right.
But all righty. So I appreciate you being with me.
Of course.
And enjoy your grandkids.
Oh yeah.
I hope they drive you nuts.
They do. They do, but it's a good nut.
Oh yeah. But have a good night, and again, thank you. God bless America. God bless our troops, our veterans, first responders, Texas. And God bless the Defenders VII.
Good night.